His chart-topping hits include Usher's Yeah. He's worked with some of the music industry's biggest names, including Nicki Minaj, Britney Spears, Mario, Beyonce, among others. Well, all this could only be eclipsed by his time as a mortgage broker in South Carolina. We're delighted to welcome Grammy-winning artist Sean Garrett. And Sean, if this music thing doesn't work out for you, you can always fall back on your mortgage days.
I know, right? I think I'm doing okay.
I think you are. I think you are. All right, let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about your successes. You have worked on some of the most pivotal albums known to our generation. Usher's Yeah. That's just one aspect of it. Tell us, how did you fall into this music industry?
Well, I mean, I've been doing music ever since I signed my first record deal when I was 14 years old. I've been doing music. I would say I've been writing songs probably since I was about 5. And so, I moved to Europe when I was approximately 5. My dad was in the military. And so music has always been just in my blood. I was always, I was an athlete as well. And my mother was very, very focused on making sure that, education was important. But music was also that thing that was that personal desire that was always in my soul. And I was on stage. My mom had me on stage when I was 5, performing at high schools, in talent shows. I was on stage officially at 12 years old.
How in the world did you ever fall into being a mortgage broker, though?
Well, what happened was when I came back from Europe, I had a deal I came back to actually do as an artist. My deal fell through. They changed everyone in that department. Fortunately, my mother, encouraged me to go to school while I had a deal. And so I could fall back on my little finance degree, you know what I mean?
Let's talk about the pivotal moment that you had in your music career. So this is something that was just always in your blood, like you say. So what was the pivotal moment that it latched on and your star just took off?
Unfortunately, my mother passed a year before I did Yeah, for Usher, and I got a chance to be a part of that iconic album, Confessions album, which today was, of course, Usher's biggest album. I think it was sold 20 million worldwide. And Yeah, went on to become the number 14 song on the greatest hits of all time Hot 100 list. But my mother passed from cancer a year before that. Wow. It was a really traumatic time and difficult, extremely difficult moment for me. That was the pivotal moment. I could have crashed, I could have given up, right? And but it was just something so iconic about my mother passing. It was very hurtful, but it just gave me a different type of battery. And I moved back to Atlanta, and I wasn't even writing and producing songs for other people. I was just writing and producing records for myself. And people started hearing my records, and it was like, yo, you should write songs for other people as well, because these songs are amazing. Yeah. And I was like, I don't write for other people, I write songs for myself. But I ended up doing a deal. My mom used to always say, man, never put all your eggs in one basket. You could be anything you wanted to be, and that was just.
And the names that you have amassed, that you have written for, are mind-blowing. All the biggest possible names you could think of in today's music. Well, Sean, I think this is a good place to take a break. It sounds like your mother had so much influence over you, and you in turn have been an influence over others through your music and another message that you have for folks. So I want to get to that after the commercial, so don't go anywhere. We're back with Grammy-winning artist Sean Garrett, and we've been talking about his incredible career of writing music and performing, and the wonderful influence that his mother has been on his life. Want to also talk about how you in turn have been using your music to influence others. You can send a lot of messages out through music, but the way in which you do it just seems to strike a chord with the listeners, with your audience. So where do you think that comes from? How do you approach writing a song? How do you approach creating music?
I think the idea, the best idea can give in reference to, writing records is being able to be free, being able to mentally just be free and enable yourself to sort of travel in a space where, you know, the impossible is possible, right? And so, I did records like, Fergie's London Bridge, the Pussycat Dolls Buttons, Enrique Iglesias de Milo. Those are all people that were very much different in reference to how we look, but at the same time, it's about tapping in and sort of seeing where they can be, or a concept that could tie into their life that their consumer base can tie into, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it sounds like you really take control, that you're very much in control of the situation, taking control of your life, whether it's through music or something else. This is kind of the philosophy that you ascribe to, which is also why voting. I mean, you think of it as a dichotomy of images, the music industry and going to the ballot box, but it's really not. You are very serious about promoting people getting out there and voting. Why is that?
Voting is so important, as I was using the word that I was using to describe, the ability to be able to be creative and write, really amazing records is just being free. And there's so many people that died for us to become free enough to vote and have a voice and be vocal, and have a stance, right, for equality and being able to see yourself, right, voting for people who represent what you represent, or voting for people who represent your views. I'm also a part of this Georgia Music Caucus. And basically the Georgia Entertainment Caucus is where the entertainment world meets Congress. We fight for so many different bills to be passed that can be very, very influential in our community. The thing that I would like to say to this generation: don't be afraid to communicate. Don't be afraid to get to know each other.
We've lost the art of how to communicate with each other in a civilized way. We can all have a different view on something, but we can always come together and still have respect for one another.
The fact.
I really appreciate that, Sean. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to look forward to the next record that's coming out. Can you give us a little hint of what that's going to be?
I'm working on a lot of great new young artists. It feels like the second wave is coming, you know what I mean? And, COVID has been a bit, it's sort of slowed us down a little bit, but I think at the same time, there's a blessing in it. We've been able to prepare. It gave us a little downtime. So once, the walls open back up and the borders open up, I think it's just going to be an enormous amount of opportunity out here to tour and do shows and see some of the new artists that we're working on. But again, I mentioned, I'm really excited about this artist. Her name is Nevaeh Jolie. She's on Def Jam. My buddy Holland Starr, who's on Wolfpack. That's just to name a few.
You've given us enough to want more. Sean, thank you so much. It was so great to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
We're back after this.